This show is brought to you by Safety FM.
Program is rated MALSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Finally, show with the balls to call it like it is. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Countdown to audio torture.
The Rated R Safety Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Let the eardrum pain begin.
Forget the corporate bullshit. This is the Rated R Safety Show with your host, Dr. It doesn't matter who the host is.
Oh, I know that, and so do you. It does not matter who the host is. What has always mattered is who the listeners are. Anyways, today is Tuesday, January the 7th of 2025, day number 7th of the year, and only 358 days left to go. We are broadcasting from the Safety FM studios in Orlando, Florida, and coming across the multiverse known as Safety FM and hanging out with our friends and colleagues over there. Like, seriously, over there. Maybe?
Radio Big. Streaming 24/7 at radiobig.fm.
Yep, hanging out with our friends at radiobig.fm because that is what we do. That is how we hang. That is how we bang. So, yes, how are you? How are things? How are things coming about for you on this lovely Tuesday? You know, it's always kind of a good time when you and I get to hang out and do our stuff. There is no doubt about that. So, anyways, as we are going through the thing, how has the last 24 hours been for you? Did you hang out last night on Netflix as WWE joined the world of Netflix? It was definitely an interesting time. After the Logan Paul Mike Tyson fight, there was definitely no buffering issues, that's for sure, as I was taking a look around last night. So yeah, good times there. But anyway, so let's talk real quick. Let's talk about what our show is about. Let's do some of that stuff because I think that's going to be important. So our show consists of safety in the news and safety. It's kind of how it's always been in regards to what the hell we do around here. So with that being said, if you're ready, I'm ready for us to talk about a little bit about everything in regards to what we do. If you interact with our show, callinradio.com. We'll kind of get you there in regards of everything that's going on. Kind of a simple process of going through everything. As we go through it, you get to be able to text, video chat, or audio chat with us, however you want to do all that kind of great stuff. So as we go through our things today, we talk about safety in the news and safety. I bring in some professional broadcasters in regards of what they talk about with everything going on. So if you're good with it, why don't we start talking right away about what the hell was trending in the overnight?
Here is what was trending. Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, so as I take a look at the trends at the end, a new report sheds light on the misinformation tools on TikTok. And an Olympic medal hits the auction block. We'll talk about that as we get into the shit list. Also, Nicki Minaj avoids a warrant for now, and Skip Bayless gets sued. We'll talk about that as we get into showbiz. Also, Nikki Glasser reflects on her hosting gig, and Sunny Hostin spews a few thoughts on the anniversary of the January 6th chaos at the Capitol. We'll talk about the details in that as we get into casting calls. And also, last but not least, Meghan Markle. How to live like Meghan Markle. We'll talk about that if you want to do that. Do you want to live like Meghan Markle? I mean, that's kind of a weird thing to live like. I mean, wouldn't you just want to live like yourself? I mean, I don't know. A lot of stuff going on in regards of when we talk and do some stuff. But hey, that's neither here nor there, but just things that we talk about in general, I guess. So with that being said, if you're good, I'm good. And I think that we should probably move in to bring in our professional broadcasters because they're ready. They're sitting and waiting, just wanting to go through the stuff today in regards to that. So if you're good, oh, by the way, before I forget, due to popular request, and I forget sometimes to take this out, to check this out. Today on Safety FM with Jay Allen, which is the podcast version of some of the stuff that we release, we're doing an Ask Me Anything. Kind of went through some of that stuff. So if you're good, Zo, I'm good, Zo, and we can move, Zo. You get it? Okay, cool. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and bring in our people from Feature Story News because they're waiting ready to go in regards to telling you about the news. So let's get them in right now.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
From Feature Story News in New Delhi, I'm Neha Punia. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced he's stepping down as the leader of the country and his party after nearly a decade as Prime Minister. He said he would remain in both roles until his replacement has been chosen through a party election. And Trump has reacted by saying that Canada could become America's 51st state. North America correspondent Kate Fisher has more.
The political upheaval comes as Canada is grappling with how to deal with US President-elect Donald Trump's pledge to impose crippling tariffs on all Canadian imports. The two countries are each other's biggest trading partners. In his resignation speech, Mr. Trudeau said that he is a fighter, but that internal battles within his party mean he can't be the leader in the next election. He's faced weeks of mounting pressure from inside his party's ranks. Calls for his resignation grew after Chrystia Freeland, his Deputy Prime Minister and Finance Minister, resigned from his cabinet last month, accusing Trudeau of being more focused on, quote, costly political gimmicks than the threat posed by the incoming Trump administration. Kate Fisher, Washington.
Nippon Steel and US Steel are suing the Biden administration over the president's decision to block the Japanese company's proposed takeover of the American firm. This comes as US Secretary of State Antony Blinken is visiting Japan. Rebecca Bunden has more.
The companies in the lawsuit say that US President Joe Biden unlawfully blocked Nippon Steel's almost $15 billion bid for US steel. They want the court to overturn the decision so that they can have a fresh national security review. The companies have said that the move was political, as Biden cited the need to protect national security and supply chains when he blocked the deal. Nippon Steel's chief executive on Tuesday said that the acquisition would be beneficial for both nations and that it was determined to pursue the acquisition. The issue casts a shadow over Secretary of State Antony Blinken's visit to Japan on Tuesday, with Tokyo having said that it could impact future investments. Rebecca Bunzen, Tokyo.
A magnitude 6.8 earthquake struck near one of Tibet's holiest cities, the China Earthquake Network Center has said. Powerful tremors were also felt in Nepal and across North India. Laura Westbrook has more.
The quake struck at around 9:05 a.m. local time with a depth of 10 kilometers at its center, according to the China Earthquake Network Center. Tremors were felt some 200 kilometers away in Nepal's capital Kathmandu, where residents ran from their homes, with areas in the mountains near Mount Everest also rattled by aftershocks. People in the northern Indian state of Bihar also felt the quake, but officials there said so far there have been no reports of damage. Laura Westbrook, Hong Kong.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks. Today, growing frustration in Europe over Elon Musk's continuing interference in the continent's affairs. Over the weekend, he kept up a blitz of messages over his social media platform, targeting the government of Keir Starmer in Britain for more criticism, even going after a politician long considered a Musk ally, Nigel Farage of Reform UK. He's also sown chaos in Germany, where the richest man in the world is aggressively promoting the far-right AfD in next month's elections. How should European governments respond?
It's a very hard question to answer because there's almost no precedent for it.
Arthur Snell is a former British diplomat and host of the podcast Behind the Lines.
We've certainly got lots of case studies of countries where we have bad relations being perfectly prepared to, say disobliging things about us. But Musk is, let's not forget, he's got a government role. He might be the richest man in the world and everyone knows he's a big businessman, but he's got his own role in Trump's government, the Department of Government and Efficiency. We've seen lots of people in this country already say that Keir Starmer or someone from the UK government needs to formally respond. The issue there is that no one wants to annoy Trump in the phase where Musk appears to be right inside his inner circle.
How long will the bromance between Trump and Musk last? We don't know, but it must definitely be coming under strain. With FSN Spotlight, I'm Simon Marks.
The main news again. Trump renews his offer of making Canada America's 51st state after Justin Trudeau announced he was stepping down as the leader of the country and his party. A magnitude 6.8 earthquake struck near one of Tibet's holiest cities, with tremors felt across North India. North Korea claims it fired a new intermediate-range ballistic missile tipped with a hypersonic warhead, says it will help contain rivals. And that is the latest feature story news. Neha Punya reporting.
Of the Rated R Safety Show. Self-implode on our airwaves, only on Safety FM.
This portion of the show has been sponsored by Private Internet Access, America's #1 virtual private network, or VPN. Even if you use incognito mode, internet service providers is storing your browser data and many times even selling it. But Private Internet Access, or PIA, can help you. PIA encrypts and reroutes your internet traffic through one of its own servers, hiding your data from your internet service provider or network admin. And with servers in over 75 countries, you can get unrestricted access to geo-blocked content from around the world. PIA comes with easy-to-use apps and browsers extension for all devices, a rock-solid privacy policy, open source security, advanced customization settings, and it was just ranked the fastest VPN in the world by PC Magazine. And if you sign up right now with PIA, you can take advantage of a special deal only for Safety FM listeners. Only by using the following link, you can get the digital privacy for less than $2 a month. Yes, you did hear me correctly, less than $2 a month, and an extra 4 months for free. So that means for only $1.98 a month and 83% off, you can get this service for you right now. That's so much more inexpensive than virtually every other VPN on the market. And if you get it right now, you can take PIA's 30-day risk-free challenge. You can try it out for 30 days, see if you like it, and if not, just return it for a full refund. So just go to safetyfm.com/VPN. That's safetyfm.com/VPN to try out the best VPN on the planet completely risk-free. Now remember, safetyfm.com/VPN.
Is your safety training old, stale, and hacked? Is your safety trainer still preaching a warped version of behavior-based safety? How about safety training that actually addresses your hazards in your workplaces and is not standardized baloney from 25 years ago? Contact the Safety Wars team at safetywars.com or call Jim Posel at 845-269-5772. Remember, if you're receiving this message, you are the solution to unsafe workplaces.
Hey there, Jay Allen here with Safety FM, where we just don't talk about safety, we live it. And when it comes to safeguarding your future, there's no better partner than Acorns. This part of the show has been brought to you by Acorns and a powerful tool that makes saving and investing easier than ever. We all know that investing can feel overwhelming, especially with busy lives and no time to dive into the nitty-gritty of financial markets, but Acorns changes the game. With Acorns, you don't need to be a financial expert or have a hefty sum of money to get started. In fact, Acorns lets you begin with just spare change. All about those small steps, small investments today that can build into something much bigger over time. Acorns recommends that the expert build portfolio designed to fit financial goals. Then it does the heavy lifting for you by automatically investing your money. It's like having a financial advisor in your pocket working around the clock to help your money grow. So why wait? Head over to acorns.com/safetyfm or download the Acorns app and take that first step towards securing your future today. Remember, in the world of safety and investing, small actions today can lead to mighty outcomes tomorrow. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides an incentive to positively promote Acorns. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors, LLC, and SEC registered investment advisors. View important disclosures at acorn.com/safetyfm. At Safety FM, we're all about making smart decisions on the job and in life. So take control of your financial future. This is Jay Allen reminding you to stay safe, stay smart, and invest in your tomorrow.
Safety never sounded so terrible. Rated R Safety
We
Show.
all want to make sure that our family is protected in medical emergencies. What many of us don't realize is that health insurance won't always cover the full amount of an emergency medical flight. Even with comprehensive coverage, you could get hit with high deductibles and copays. That's why an Air Medcare Network membership is so important. As a member, if an emergency arises, you won't see a bill for air medical transport when flown by an AMCN provider. Best of all, a membership covers your entire household for as little as $85 a year. AMCN providers are called upon to transport nearly 100,000 patients a year. This is coverage no family should go without. Now, as a Jay Allen Show listener, you'll get up to a $50 e-gift card with a new membership. Simply visit airmedcarenetwork.com/safety and use the offer code SAFETY. And don't forget to tell them that Jay Allen sent you.
This show is almost as enjoyable as hearing the sound of the toilet flush. Rated R Safety Show on Safety FM.
Okay, so at least it's enjoyable to some extent, I guess, is when it's all said and done, and we're starting talking about it. Anyways, currently 17 minutes past the top of the hour as we are hanging out and talking and doing all the fun stuff that we get to do. No doubt about that. Anyways, take a listen to this. A bronze medal awarded to an unidentified female wrestler at 2024's Paris Olympic has hit the auction block. The RR auction is selling the medal as part of the Olympic memorabilia. As of Monday, there were at least 16 bids. The most recent was for $22,987. Other items include medals from past games and torches used during the various opening ceremonies. If you want to see more about it, go to RR Auctions. That will give you some more info about what is going on. That is for sure. Anyways, parting shots. President Joe Biden on Monday issued an order to ban new oil and gas drilling along with an estimated 625 million acres of American coastline. The president lawyer suggested to an obscure 1953 law that gives power to unlitterize, protect these areas from energy development, and incoming Trump administration won't necessarily be able to undo the environmental protections. Former President Barack Obama used similar arguments in 2016 that Trump was also unable to stop in his first term for similar procedural reasons. The move comes as Donald Trump has less than 2 weeks before taking office and making good on his aggressive campaign promise to boost domestic energy production and have the cost of energy by the end of his first year. Now, remember, he said that during that time, that he was going to have energy costs down by half during his first year, which, I mean, let's just be realistic. That's a bold prediction. I mean, I don't care who you are, coming in or not, whatever. I mean, half. Now, keep in mind that there is some thought process there, that if you bring everything down in regards of energy costs, everything else should be reduced in price. So we'll see what happens. I mean, hopefully the guy's spot on what he's saying. I'm just saying I think it's going to be a difficult task regardless on how you look at it. So there you go. Anyways, a follow-up. Nicki Minaj will remain free for the time being. Wayne County prosecutors denied a warrant request from Detroit Police Department for the rapper arrest due to insufficient evidence in relation to the recent incident involving a former tour manager. A previous reported Brandon Garrett filed a lawsuit against Minaj, claiming that she got aggressive with him during a tour stop in Detroit last year. He is suing her for assault, battery, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. This is according to DMZ. Now, explain that last one to me. I want to have a better understanding there. Emotional distress. So there you go. I don't know. I mean, it's an interesting time. That's for sure. Anyways, a former Fox Sports hairstylist is suing Skip Bayless for sexual misconduct and other workplace transgressions. Notion Farahi, who worked at the network from 2012 to 2024, accuses Bayless for making inappropriate comments and offering her $1.5 million to have sex with him. Bayless, who co-hosted Skip and Shannon Undisputed from 2016 to last August, would also allegedly give Notion lingering hugs after haircuts. A Fox executive at Fox Sports 1 host Joy Taylor are also listed in this lawsuit. This is according to People magazine. Now, I don't know. I mean, it is a lawsuit. Now, I'm kind of interested on that. How do you get to the $1.5 million? Like, how does that become an offer? I'm being serious. Like, I don't understand some of these things sometimes in regards to how this works. So take a listen to this as Hoda wraps up her final week on Today. Her co-host, Jenna Bush Hager, revealed who will fill in the vacant seat. Starting next week, Hager will be joined by actress Taraji Henson, Eva Longoria, and Keke Palmer in what will be known as Today with Jenna and Friends. Going forward, the morning show will feature rotating a roster of co-hosts until a permanent decision is made. Hoda has been with Today for 17 years, but spent a total of 25 years at NBC. You know, I have to tell you, ever since the Matt Lauer thing, it seems like that show has had a hard time kind of getting their stuff together. And I'm not picking on the show itself. It's just that other show that's on ABC. What is it, Good Morning America? I think it's Good Morning America. Seems to have picked up some steam. And I'm not saying one led to the other, but it seems like it had some major impact on what they had going on. And I'm just throwing that out there. I don't know how much you care about those news wars, but that's just one of those things that we talk about, that's for sure. Anyways, it's been 14 years since he picked up his wand, but Harry Potter star Daniel Radcliffe is still reaping the benefits. According to The Sun, Radcliffe has grossed nearly 100 million euros, about $103 million in his career, thanks to part of the Wizarding films. Meanwhile, he is set to return to the silver screen later this year. Now You See Me 3. Really? Now You See Me 3? Hold on. I didn't even know that they were making another one of those movies. Because if you watch part 1 and then you went and watched part 2, you knew that part 1 made no sense because part 2 on how they tried to tie it in together. I'm just saying. So I'm kind of shocked that they're coming up with a third part, but hey, that's neither here nor there in regards of what is going on. So maybe that's something to think about as we are talking. What else do we have? Let's see. Let's talk about the shit list stuff because maybe this is going to be some stuff to focus on. On Friday, the Supreme Court will hold an emergency hearing to determine the constitutionality of the law signed by President Joe Biden that would force TikTok to shut down on January the 19th unless it's sold off. A new report from the University of Redmond suggests that the fears of the app being weaponized by the Chinese Communist Party, who control information, that are indeed quite valid. The study argues that TikTok suppresses content that is critical of China's human rights abuses and troublesome history, including the 1989 Tiananmen Square crackdown. The research also suggests that TikTok users have developed a more favorable view of China as travel destination. One study author tells the Free Press that I think that the Supreme Court hearing now isn't about whether or not dealing with the hypothetical threat. The Supreme Court hearing is about whether they're going to allow this to continue this indoctrination. Also worth noting, while the study clarifies that TikTok manipulates the content algorithm, it does not address the overall real concerns that the app creates in virtual pipeline of data from everyday Americans into the CCP. This is according to the Free Press. So what do you think there? Like, seriously, what do you think? Now, I will tell you, me personally, I am not a big TikTok user. I mean, if anything, I've seen a couple of things. I do not have the app. I have people that send me stuff that goes to TikTok and then it asks you if you want to download it. But in regards of doing an everyday user, no. But now I have people that I know that are TikTok everyday users. And if anything, they swear by it. They think it's the greatest thing on the planet. That's for sure, in regards to some of the stuff that happens there. So I don't know. What do you think? So a lot of things going on as we are talking. That is for sure. So there you go. Anyways, a trio of snowplow drivers in Colorado joined forces last week to aid police in stopping a crook's getaway. No, seriously. An officer first flagged the black Hyundai Accent from driving with a broken taillight, and it turned out to be stolen. It had been reported at the site of the others' burglaries in recent days. When the officers engaged in the pursuit, the driver sped off, managing to blow through multiple police roadblocks, including stop sticks. As the criminal continued onto the interstate, 3 snowplow trucks, each in their own lane, saw the pursuit unfolding behind them and figured out that what was happening. They slowed down side by side, creating an impossible wall for the driver, who eventually stopped and surrendered. No one was injured. The driver, 27-year-old man, admitted to being drunk and high and was taken into custody on existing warrants. He now faces additional charges for his attempted getaway. This is according to KOAA. Yeah, KOAA, in regards to what's going on. Yeah, I mean, if you go look at this thing, this is nighttime. Definitely it's dark outside as they're doing this. I mean, I don't know if this is a move you want to try to pull at night, especially if you're the driver of the Hyundai, in regards to that. Believe me, not picking on Hyundai, that's for sure, in regards of what was going on. But something to think about. So anyways, dictator of North Korea, Kim Jong-un, has outlawed hot dogs in its latest anti-American policy crusade. And I'm okay with that. Hot dogs and Spam-like pork products have grown in popularity in the Hermit Kingdom since 2017, when a spicy noodle soup called Bundai Jig, I think it's called Bundai Jig, Jjigae, that uses them as prominent ingredients first grew in popularity. Now the police and military are cracking down on stores and street vendors selling the items and threatening sellers with hard labor. The new rule follows a decree issued in December that threatens anyone celebrating Christmas with execution. Also, anyone who wants a divorce needs to spend 6 months at a labor camp, since a dissolution of marriage is anti-socialist, according to The Sun. Wow. I mean, you really have to be committed that that's what you want to do. If you're ready to get a divorce, 6 months in a labor camp. Wow.
We at Safety FM are not responsible for what this idiot behind the microphone is saying. He is trying to be entertaining. Rated R Safety Show.
I don't want to be with her anymore, so let's go 6 months into the labor camp. That's something to think about, that's for sure. Okay, so take a listen to this. Tom Holland and Zendaya are engaged. They are both 28. Holland popped the question between Christmas and New Year's at one of her family homes. After meeting on the set of Spider-Man Homecoming, the couple started dating since dating in 2021. Good for them. Congratulations. In regards, If that's what you want to do, I mean, come on. Good for them. Young love. So beautiful. Anyways, the Dow closed at 25 points at 42,000, or closed down 25 points at 42,706 on Monday. The S&P increased by 32 points to close at 5,975, and the Nasdaq increased by 246 points to close at 19,867. West Texas Intermediate closed at $73 a barrel, and Brent crude was at $76 a barrel. The national average price of a gallon of gas was $3.06 on Monday, and Bitcoin climbed up on Monday, almost 4%, trading around $102,000. Tonight's Mega Million drawing will be for $62 million jackpot, or a $27.7 million cash payout. So if you want to play the game, I guess you have the opportunity to do so. So what do you think? I mean, those are some big games if you want to play it that way. In regard to what we're talking about, that's for sure. Okay, so take a listen to this. Post Malone surprised a bartender at the Rail Yard Bar in Houston with a $20,000 tip on Christmas Eve. The bartender, a 36-year-old single mom struggling with the idea of working instead of being with her 9-year-old on the holiday, called the gift a Christmas miracle, according to the Music Mayhem. So here's my question, and I'm not picking on Posty here. I'm just asking. Number one, who reported this? Like, did she report that he left that kind of money? Or, number two, how did he know that this is what she needed? Was it because she was working on that day? I mean, I'm just asking questions to ask questions, because I always like to have better understandings of some of these things. It gets a little confusing around here sometimes. Anyways, take a listen to this. Bill Belichick has joined X. The newly anointed Tar Heel manager debut read, beat Duke by the first words as a boy are of my first words on X, go Heels. The move is as big doings as Bill Belichick famously says, not a snap face or Insta chat. This is according to TMZ. Is that kind of like a play on words? I'm just asking. I just want to have a better understanding. Anyways, here's one more. Jennifer Lopez was spotted hanging out with estranged husband Ben Affleck over the weekend. The visit comes a month after the two were spotted exchanging gifts at Zoho House in Los Angeles. Insiders previously stated that the two are committed to remain in each other's lives, especially when it comes to the kids, despite the divorce. So do they have kids together? I thought they didn't. I mean, I'm so confused. I can't even keep up anymore with any of this stuff. So there you go. Okay, what do we want to do here? Let's talk. It's 32 minutes past, so why don't we just go ahead and get into our main story, because I think we should probably do that. So let's do that right now.
Here is our main story on the Rated R Safety Show.
Okay, main story time. A lot of stuff to talk about. Little time to do so. So let me kind of be kind and try to make sure how we're going to go through this. And, you know, I know a lot of people are excited about the new year. The change in date for some is just kind of like one of those miraculous things that occurs. But, hey, that's your thing, not my thing. But I want to talk about this real quick. And I want to talk about, you know, how there's times that you have ideas, that you have plans, you have things that are out there that you want to, we'll say, quote unquote, share with your organization. And all of a sudden, these things are shared. The work has been done. The implementation might have even been done at other organizations before you got to where you're at now. And you have already planned out on how this would work at this new organization, or how you would implement this based on previous experience. And then you have somebody that decides to tell you that you're wrong, that it does not work, that the information would never occur in that particular fashion, and that there's no way that this could work inside of this organization based on what they have going on and what they've seen, because, let's say, hypothetically, they have been there longer than you have. And long and behold, this person decides to take your idea and implement it and move forward with it. and all of a sudden almost run word for word and verbatim that it was their idea. You know what I'm talking about. I'm sure this has happened to you before, especially if you do what we do for work. It's not a very uncommon thing to hear about.
Duh.
So I'm going to ask you something. How do you handle these situations? How do you look at these things and are able to move forward inside of the organization with some of it? Because I will tell you, when I go down the path of having these conversations with people in regards on how things will not work, on how things will not be able to happen, it drives me bonkers. And I mean not kind of bonkers, I mean bonkers, because it just doesn't make any sense to me. And listen, I do not mind going around and saying, hey, this could have been this is my idea, but somebody else came up with it and ran with it or whatever. But it drives me crazy. And I'm going to say crazy when people want to act like you had nothing to do with it. And I guess that boils down to some of that stuff where you look at it and go, give credit where credit's due, but man, does it drive me mad when someone's telling you you're wrong and then they start adding all these layers and different verbiage, better saying, in regards of what's going on, just to make sure that they can credit themselves at the table. Now, I will tell you, hanging out in C-suites, I have seen this happen more times than I want to probably admit, but man, does it get strange from time to time from when these things occur. So, as you think about this today, how do you manage that? How do you handle those situations? Is it important to get the credit for things being done, or is it more important for it just getting done, regardless of what happens? Now, I remember working with this guy for a long period of time. That's how he worked. Your ideas were crap, always were crap, would never work, but then all of a sudden, boom, when you had to go to the C-suite, they were brought up like they were his ideas, and we all should run with it because he had a great idea. Now, some might sit back and go, sometimes you have to do stuff to make people believe that it's their idea that they're coming up with, which sometimes is not the case. But man, do things get weird sometimes. Like, boy, does stuff get strange. I don't know. It's still something to this day that it bothers me, even when I still hear about it.
Oops! What did he just say?
We at Safety FM don't always agree with the viewpoints of our hosts and guests.
Now back to real safety talk on Safety FM.
Don't go anywhere.
You're listening to the home of real safety talk.
You're listening to Safety FM. We'll be right back.
If you're anything like me, you have certain tendencies to put things off, such as filing taxes, seeing the doctor, working on that home improvement project that you're supposed to be doing, but you just haven't gotten to it. And while most of the times it works out, the one thing in life that you really cannot afford to wait on is setting up term coverage life insurance. You've probably seen life insurance commercials on TV and thought, yeah, I'll look into it later. Well, the answer is no. This isn't something that you can wait for. Choose life insurance through Ladder today. Ladder is 100% digitals, no doctors, no needles, no paperwork. When you apply for $3 million in coverage or less, just answer a few questions about your health in an application. Ladder's customers rate them 4.8 out of 5 stars on Trustpilot, and they've made Forbes' best life insurance in 2021's list. You just need a few minutes and a phone or a laptop to apply. Ladder's smart algorithm works in real time, so you'll find out if you're instantly approved. No hidden fees, cancel anytime, get full refund if you change your mind in the first 30 days. Ladder policies are issued by insurers with long proven histories of paying claims. They're rated A and A+ by AM Best. Finally, since life insurance costs more as you age, now is the time to cross it off your list. So go to ladder.com/safetyfm today to see if you're instantly approved. That's LADDER life.com/safetyfm. Ladderlife.com/safetyfm.
Listen at your own risk.
Rated R Safety Show.
Embrace a daily boost of nature with Field of Greens. Discover the simple power of one scoop to elevate your well-being. Enjoy the flavor that appeals to you the most and let the blend of organic fruits and vegetables enhance your life. Experience the following benefits with Fields of Greens. Noticeable energy increase to power you throughout the day. Improved quality of sleep. Enhanced digestive comfort and a general uplift in your wellness. Field of Green stands out with the selection of organically grown ingredients, each carefully picked for its benefits to your heart and overall health. We are confident that you'll appreciate the benefits of Field of Greens. If it doesn't meet your expectations, we offer a straightforward money-back guarantee. Jumpstart your health journey with a special offer, 15% off your first purchase plus complimentary expedited shipping. Just visit fieldofgreens.com and use the code SAFETYFM to redeem your discount. That's SAFETYFM at fieldofgreens.com. Experience nature's touch at fieldofgreens.com/SAFETYFM. And don't forget to tell them that Jay Allen sent you.
Jay Allen in the morning, weekdays on Radio Big.
I know you all want to hit your revenue targets and get the launch done. Well, making sure that your team knows what to do and how to do it is a huge part of it. So I'm sure that you all do different kinds of training, and I'm willing to bet that you probably use PowerPoint, Zoom, etc. I also bet that when you get someone droning on about a topic using these tools, you probably zone out. And your team does too. I mean, it is a reality of what happens. That's why I strongly recommend a tool called Articulate 360. That makes it so easy to whip together interactive, really beautiful e-learnings that really engages people and gets info across. You can create short-form micro-learning, super interactive courses, and really whatever you need when you're in their site. Then with a couple of clicks, you can send it out and check on it and see the progress of your team. Your team can also check back on the training anytime they want in a super simple portal. Literally everyone uses Articulate. Over 120,000 companies and all 100 Fortune 100 companies. Check it out at articulate.com/360 to start a free trial. That's articulate.com/360 to start your free trial. And don't forget to tell them that I was the one that sent you there.
Rated R Safety Show.
Sarcastic? Never.
Let me talk to you real quick. What is HelloFresh? With HelloFresh, you get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. Spend your time this month shopping for gifts and sipping cocoa, not stuck at the checkout line. Sign up for HelloFresh and get everything you need to whip up a fresh, tasty meal delivered to your door. Just choose your recipes, select a delivery date, and relax knowing that dinner is on its way. HelloFresh has over 45 recipes and more than 100 seasonal add-on items to choose from every week, so it's easier than ever to find something everyone will enjoy. Go to HelloFresh.com/SafetyFM free. That's HelloFresh.com/SafetyFM free to use the code SafetyFM free for free breakfast for life. One breakfast item per box while subscription is active. That's free breakfast for life at HelloFresh.com/SafetyFM free with code SafetyFM free. And don't forget that this is why HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit.
We are radio. We are sarcasm. We are both combined. Radio Big.
Okay, here we go. Currently 44 minutes past the top of the hour as we are hanging out on the Rated R Safety Show. This right here, Print Screen by V. Christie. Songs readily available on Spotify, Apple Music, and YouTube Music. Might want to give it a little downloader odor, little streamer action. We would like to thank V. Christie for allowing us to play this here on the Rated R Safety Show. Because you know how I love me some new music, especially some techno stuff. So there you go. Oh yeah, hanging out here, doing our thing. No doubt about that. That is for sure. Okay, so let's get into the move and the groove of some of the other things that we need to talk about. And if anything, let me tell you about the most important thing that I will tell you in my lifetime, and that's about my friends at To Write Love on Her Arms. No matter what you're facing, you deserve to be connected to help. And the people at To Write Love on Her Arms want you to know that people have been where you are now, and things can get better. Healing is possible. To find out more information, all you have to do is go to TWLOHA.com. That's TWLOHA.com and click on the section that says Find Help. Once you get there, go all the way to the far right-hand side because that's where that button's located. There's going to be information related to addiction, suicide, depression, anxiety, trauma, eating disorders, grief support, and self-injury, just to name a few. That's TWLOHA.com to write love on her arms. I'll tell you, the website is great with the amount of information that it has for you. And I always tell people, just because this information may not be for you, there might be someone that you know that could benefit from having this information. So just so you know. Anyways, let's talk about some micro retirement real quick. That's what it's being called for the latest trend. And I have to admit, I kind of like the idea. According to reports, growing number of younger people in the workforce are opting for the adult equivalent of taking a gap year. That's right. An effort of fighting the corporate burnout, some people are opting to temporarily leave their job for months or even years at a time. The story is that these Gen Zs and millennial workers are carving out a chunk of time from their careers to travel, focus on their passions, or to pick up different jobs while they're still young rather than waiting until they're in their 60s or later. Our boss has done that. In fact, he does it every Friday around 1:30. In other news, the only difference between micro retirement and a school year gap is that you're an adult and it's been frowned upon, like under mommy and daddy's roof, and spend all day eating pizza, pops, and hanging out at the pool. So there you go, some stuff to talk about. So I don't know, would that be something you're interested in? I mean, to each their own. Anyways, take a listen to this. It looks like weight loss drugs like Wegovy and Ozempic are not just leading to smaller waistlines. They're also trimming the fat off the profits of some good food companies. New research from Cornell University shows that using GLP-1 and other prescription meds for weight loss trends to spend less on food as a result. The study found that households in which at least one person is utilizing appetite-suppressant drugs spend 6% less on groceries in the last 6 months. And among the higher income families, it's somewhere more closer to 9%. And what is grocery particular did they spend less on? The steepest decline was seen in processed foods like chips and other savory snacks, 11%, as well as baked sweets at 9%. The households were also seen to spend less on fast food restaurants and coffee shops, and those weight loss drugs were found to spend more on foods and dietitians recommended, such as yogurt and fresh produce. Fresh produce. No wonder these people had no cash left to hit the KFC drive-thru. I'm just saying. And the way I see it is that the only way that households that have one person on a weight loss drug is spending 11% less on snacks is that's if one person is the one who does the grocery shopping. I mean, think about it for a moment. So there you go. Some stuff to think about as we are talking. So some stuff to definitely give some consideration to. Anyways, with that being said, why don't we go ahead and do this and bring some John Small into our life and let him tell us about what the hell is going on with the Motivation Minute. Let's do that.
The Motivation Minute is courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com and JaceCaseMedical.com.
The Motivation Minute.
Today's quote was submitted by Derek. Bill Gates said, "Success is a lousy teacher. It seduces smart people into thinking they can't lose." How true is that? In my life, I've had successes and I've had failures. I've learned almost every lesson in my life in times of failure. I've learned what not to do. I've learned who not to trust. I've learned what not to sign without a solid understanding of what I'm signing. I've made all these mistakes so you don't have to. Actually, you'll probably have to make some mistakes for yourself too. But that's okay. Learn from your mistakes too. It's always better to learn from someone else's mistakes, but be sure to learn from your own as well.
The Motivation Minute.
The Motivation Minute is courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com and JaceCaseMedical.com. I'm John Small. Thanks for listening. Your motivational quotes can be submitted for an upcoming program at motivationminute.org.
Hello, I'm Richard Exley with your 1-minute devotion. Trusting God is easy when everything is going well, but let your world come crashing down, and the enemy will tempt you to rail at God. When my grandson was just a little guy, he was always crashing into things and hurting himself. But instead of running to us for comfort, he would run away. And if we tried to comfort him, he would strike out at us, screaming, "Don't touch me!" Let life deal you a crushing blow, and you can respond like my grandson, or you can respond like Jesus did in Gethsemane. You can push God away, or you can cling to him, putting your trust in him and him alone. Lord, help us to trust you even when we can't understand your ways. Amen. If these devotions are a blessing and an encouragement to you, you can subscribe at oneminutedevotion.com.
Here is the news on the Rated R Safety Show.
Meta Platforms, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, is under mounting scrutiny for allegedly censoring pro-Palestinian and anti-Israeli content amid the ongoing war, drawing criticism from human rights organizations and media outlets such as the BBC.
The company has faced several allegations over the past month, including claims in a Human Rights Watch report about content suppression, a BBC investigation accusing Facebook of limiting Palestinian news outlets' reach, and testimonies collected by the human rights group Seven Amle, alleging shadow banning of Palestinian pages. Benjamin Wright reporting.
As the deadline for the arrest warrant against impeached South Korean President Yoon Suk Yeol passed, protesters and counter-protesters braved freezing temperatures and snow outside his residence.
The protest coincided with a Seoul court's dismissal of an injunction filed by Yoon seeking to invalidate warrants for his detention and a search of his home. South Korea remains in political turmoil after Yoon declared martial law in early December, accusing the opposition of attempting to overthrow democracy. Joseph Eckerson reporting.
The new year brought a powerful winter storm to a significant portion of the United States, delivering heavy snow and dangerous ice that placed over 60 million people across 30 states under winter weather warnings.
Blizzard warnings remained in effect for more than 4 million people through Sunday night in parts of Kansas, Nebraska, and Missouri, according to the National Weather Service's online map. Travel became hazardous in several heartland states, including Kansas, Kentucky, and Indiana. Lawrence Keller reporting.
This is the latest news headlines.
A child missing for 5 days was discovered alive this week in a sprawling game park in northern Zimbabwe, home to big cats and other wild animals, officials confirmed.
The 7-year-old boy was reported missing from his rural village on December 27th, according to a statement from the Zimbabwe Parks and Wildlife Management Authority, known as Zimparks. The agency noted that a coordinated search effort involving park rangers, police, and the local community led to his rescue. Kyle Norris reporting.
New York City introduced a new toll for drivers entering the heart of Manhattan, requiring many to pay $9 during peak hours to access the city's busiest area.
Known as congestion pricing, the initiative aims to alleviate traffic gridlock in the densely populated city while generating funds to improve its struggling public transit system. We've studied this issue for 5 years, but 5 minutes in Midtown Manhattan shows New York has a real traffic problem, said the Metropolitan Transportation Authority Chair. Kevin Sanders reporting.
A soccer-loving nun from Brazil has reportedly become the world's oldest living person person at nearly 117 years old following the death of a Japanese woman who previously held the title.
Sister Ina Kanabaro, who was frail as a child and not expected to survive, has now been recognized by LongeviQuest, an organization tracking supercentenarians. In a statement released Saturday, the group confirmed her status, based on early life records, as the world's oldest living person. Jessica Oakley reporting.
And that's the latest news headlines with Alan Edwards.
More hits to help you work. Because to get rich, you gotta work hard.
Yeah, dude, look, I just made so much money that I could just sit around on my ass all day and play video games.
Wait, I forgot about Dogecoin.
Dogecoin rules!
Oh, yes, Dogecoin rules, that's for sure. Let's talk about some things that happened back on this day. Back in 2019, Amazon overtakes Microsoft to become the world's most valuable listed company for the first time, worth $797 billion. Microsoft rang in at $789 billion. Today, Microsoft's market cap is around $800 billion, more than Amazon's. So there you go. That happened back on this date in 2019. Let's talk about some birthdays that are going on today. Lamar Jackson turns 28, Lewis Hamilton 40, Brett Dalton 42, Laura Cohen turns 43, Jinx turns 44, Jeremy Renner turns 54, Nicolas Cage 61, Rand Paul turns 62, Ron Rivera turns 63, Katie Couric turns 68, David Caruso 69, Helen Worth turns 74, and Kenny Loggins turns 77 today. If you're looking at some days of the year to celebrate, I got one. It's National Bobblehead Day. Sometimes we have a list. Today, not so much. So that's something to think about. That is for sure. If you need a random joke for today, I definitely have one of those for you. So why do I not share? If you ask me, wind chill should be measured in swear words. Think about it. It'll get you further. Also, what did you think was going to be amazing but turned out to be horrible? Who said Green Lantern? Who said Green Lantern? Seriously. So there you go. If you need a question for the water cooler, try this. The last time the average person did this chore at home was 5 months ago. What is it? Clean out the fridge. I'm telling you what's shared with me. I don't make these rules. Clean out the fridge. Some stuff to think about. There you go. Anyway, so that's going to sum up our time together at the top of the hour. I will be going over to radiobig.fm if you want to come and hang out with me for the next couple hours or so. If not, that's perfectly fine. You can go to, Safety FM if you want to hang out there and hang out with the likes of Sheldon Primus as he talks about the world of safety consulting. So a lot of stuff to go on with if that's what you're encouraged or inclined to do. No doubt about that. Anyways, thank you for always being the best part of Safety FM and Radio Big, and that is the listener, because without you, it makes no sense to do what we do around here. No doubt about that. If I can leave you with a deep thought for today, I would love to leave you with this one. The cure for boredom is curiosity, and there is no cure for curiosity. Seriously, you can get as much data as you want. You're probably never going to cure that. No doubt about that. Anyways, I know who you are. You know who I am. Love ya, mean it, and goodbye.
The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of the host and its guest and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of the company. Examples of analysis discussed within this podcast are only examples. They should not be utilized in the real world as the only solution available, as they are based only on very limited and dated open source information. Assumptions made within this analysis are not reflective of the position of the company. No part of this podcast may be reproduced, stored in a retrieval system, or transmitted in any form or by any means, mechanical, electronic, recording, or otherwise, without prior written permission of the creator of the podcast, Jay Allen.